Before there was video games, there was pinball. These machines had all the bells and whistles with plenty of lights, ramps, and unique styles and themes. With the invention of video games, there was a boom of Pinball NES games, and today we're looking at those. If you couldn't get to the arcade and play pinball, you could on your NES, and these Pinball NES games are a great mix of electronic fun on your screen while doing their best to replicate that feeling of flippers and a steel ball. But before we get into this list, if this is your first time on my channel or if you just haven't yet, make sure you hit that sub button to watch plenty of NES content from countdowns and retrospectives. Get ready to launch that steel ball and watch it come flying down at you because we are looking at Pinball NES games.
Now you're playing with power.
Pinball. Try to keep the ball out of the little hole at the bottom of the board by using 2 flippers. I mean, in case you've never played pinball before. The playing field is split into 2 parts, so if the ball falls down the first little hole, it's not game over just yet. You get to play on the bottom floor as well. If you are lucky, you get to play the bonus game where Mario makes a cameo appearance. Bounce the ball off a platform on top of your head to save Pauline. Pinball was one of the very first NES games released. Rockin' Ball. Rockin' Ball is a pinball game with several gameplay options. The first is a regular pinball game for 1 to 4 players. The second option is called 9-ball, and the object is to shoot the balls into the playfield and have them land into holes to form a bingo pattern. This game can also be played with 1 to 4 players. The next game mode is Battle Flipper. There is a set of flippers at both the top and the bottom of the table, and 2 players try to knock the pinball past their opponent's flippers. But that's not the final game mode. In fact, there's a sports pinball. In this game, the pinball table is set up to look like a soccer or hockey field, and similar to Battle Flipper, each player tries to knock the pinball past their opponent's goalie. There is only 1 flipper in this game, however. You have to have the goalie block shots, and the flipper can be moved from side to side. Rollerball. Rollerball is a pinball simulation for 1 to 4 players. There are 2 different types of game variations. The first is Skyscraper, which is a 4-screen tall pinball table where each player competes individually for the highest score. The second is called Match Play. In this game, 2 players compete against each other to see who can first reduce the opponent's score to 0. Each player has a set of flippers and a ball in play, and points are awarded or taken away by hitting various targets in the playfield. Pinbot. Pinbot is a conversion of an arcade pinball game by Williams Electronics. The game is played with a split screen. The bottom half of the screen remains on your flippers, while the top half scrolls to follow the balls on the table. In addition to recreating the pinball game's table, lights and sounds and several video game elements have been added, such as monsters that like to eat up pinballs. One of the cool things about Pinbot is up to 4 players can compete against the nasty little Pinbot. Pinball Quest. Pinball Quest is billed as a pinball role-playing game. You guys ever heard of that? Me neither. Though the term is used a little loosely, as you only earn gold to buy stoppers and more flippers. So I guess it's like a leveling up pinball game. There are 4 different modes to play. The RPG mode has 6 multi-screen pinball tables where you use your flippers to knock the pinball into enemies, find keys, and eventually rescue Princess Bali. The other modes, Pop Pop, Viva Golf, and Circus, are each specialized multi-screen pinball tables involving sports, golf, and the circus. The latter has a slot machine and a bonus game in which you throw balls at animals to save the girl that they are chasing. All in all, Pinball Quest sounds pretty awesome. High Speed. High Speed is another conversion of the Williams Electronics pinball game of the same name. The game recreates the pinball table and gameplay from the arcade version and also adds some video game elements such as lightning bombs, attacking enemies, magnetic helicopters, and rust balls which dissolve your flipper. The bottom part of the screen remains on the bottom set of flippers while the top half scrolls over the whole pinball table to follow the action. Gameplay is for 1 to 4 players where you alternate. So there you have it, all of the NES pinball games. Well, if I missed any, make sure you let me know in the comments below. Which of these pinball games have you played, or which one of them do you want to try now? For me personally, Pinball Quest sounds pretty sweet. I can get behind upgrading the flippers and the bumpers through earning gold coins. But that's just me. Let me know in the comments below which pinball game you want to play. And while you're there, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel to watch plenty of NES content. Thanks for watching.